This is the Be More podcast. I am your host, Jack Williams, and this is a show all about health, nutrition, mindset, and performing at our very best. And this is going to be your catalyst to being more. Welcome to the Be More podcast. Today, I'm very excited to be joined by Piesy. Piesy, how are you, mate?
Very well, Jack. Thanks very much for having me on today, mate.
No worries, man. I'm excited to hear your story because I haven't even heard it yet, but I know you're doing great things. So, yeah, mate, take it away.
As I said, thanks for having me on. So my name's Piesy, guys, and I just turned 20. I just turned 32 yesterday. I know.
Happy birthday yesterday, mate.
Thanks very much. So, yeah, a bit about my story. I can take you all the way back to. I'll take you all the way back to when I was a wee young lad. To be fair, born and bred in a council estate where my mum, my dad, and my big brother and my two sisters, my big sister and my wee sister, came from a hard-working family. My dad worked really, really hard for us. He had a few takeaway shops, and my mum was a nursery. So from a young age, they've always never really drilled into us to work hard, but noticing it from them, we understood that to get to somewhere in life, you had to work hard, right? My dad, he only had one day off a week, and that was Christmas. Yeah. So from there, I remember young ages at like primary school and high school. I never honestly really knew what I wanted to do with myself. Genuinely never knew what I wanted to do with myself. I was half okay at football. So I thought professional footballer for me, to be honest with you, that's what I wanted to do. And I saw all my good friends go to play at high levels, and unfortunately for me, I never. At 14, I was on trials at like Hearts and Livingston, and then watching all my best friends to go and play for like SPL teams and even English teams to this day. So it kind of put a dent in my confidence. At school as well, I just wanted to play football. I left high school with one qualification, and that was PE. So that was the kind of, I never really knew what I wanted to do with myself, but that was all I really could do. But about 18 years old, I just found myself in the local supermarket, just stacking shelves. That's all I'd done, and I never really had any big goals or ambitions or desires. I just thought like it was just work. I never knew what my next step was, genuinely.
Yeah.
So it got to the age of 21, and my old football coach, he managed to get me a job as a heating engineer. I remember him phoning up the main guy at one of the companies in Edinburgh, and him saying to me, "Right, what do you want to be?" And I goes, "I don't really know." I goes, "All my pals are electricians." He goes, "Well, this is the mechanical side, so you can either be a plumber or a heating engineer." So I was like, a heating engineer sounds better, so we'll just go with that. So after that, it was 2 years pipe fitting, and it was 2 years welding. So remember, when people get an apprenticeship, it's usually like 16, 17. So I was 21, so that's like pretty late. So after that, I finished off with 25-year-old, and I was a qualified heating engineer. To be honest, I passed the test and all that, but I was average. I was average at my job. I never loved it. And I remember I got my qualification, and I said to my tradesman, "Now what?" And he goes, you'll be working on the building site for until you're 70 on about £1,600 to £2,000 a month for the rest of your life." And that like hit me really, really hard. I went, bloody hell. I just thought to myself, in this day and age, that's no really a lot of money. Not that I like to spend a lot of money, because I don't, but it was the fact that this is what I was going to do, and I just genuinely hated it. I genuinely hated the fact that I used to hate going to bed at night and wake up in the morning and going to the building site, mate, and I just thought to myself, there must be more to life than this. There's got to be. Being told what to do from a boss. If you wanted to work extra overtime and all that, you need to be like the boss's pals and stuff. I just totally hated it. So that's been me for the past 10 years, really. But I've always kept, as I said, I've always kept myself relatively fit and healthy. I played football at a high level, and I was an amateur boxer. I was Scottish amateur champion, 81 kilo. And so I've always known about health and fitness. But then once my daughter turned 1, just over 2 years ago, I stopped playing football. I stopped boxing, and I really actually stopped going to the gym in the morning. I had no motivation at all, really. And I was just working. Leaving the house at like 6 in the morning, coming back at 6 at night. And I remember my daughter was born on the Thursday night at 6 o'clock at night, and I was back. I was working at Rosyth on the Monday morning, and that was tough. People say, "Oh, this is tough. I get 2 weeks off paternity." I was only agency at the time, and that was tough for me. Leaving your daughter with Lisa, obviously. But I just thought to myself, I should be home here. I should be home with my daughter. What's this all about? The working about, back working. And funnily enough, I bumped into a guy that I'd never met in my life before. I met him in the local supermarket. He had a Herbalife top on, and he had a big silly badge. But he looked fit. He looked fit and healthy. And I was like, I was attracted to him in terms of just looking over. So I was like, geez, what, who is this guy, sort of thing. But funnily enough, I actually knew his brother. So I was like, oh, wow, how you doing? So I was like, how you doing, Stephen? All right. And he goes, oh, this is my brother, Kev. He does Herbalife. And he goes, all right. He goes, you heard of this Herbalife? And I go, yeah, that's that weight loss company from America. And he goes, no, it's nothing like that. And he goes, you should take a look at this. And I goes, no, honestly, mate, I'm not into any fad diets or any shakes or anything like that. And his brother Stephen says, Piesy, you've got to take a look at this. Go along an opportunity, man. So I was like, geez, wow. So I went home that night. I told Lisa, I said, Lisa, I'm going to go along with this opportunity, man. She goes, nah, you're not going anywhere. You're staying with the wee one. It's your turn to look after the wee one. I goes, Lisa, come on, I need to go along to this place. So I went along the road there, about 20 minutes. And it was weird when I went in at my first meeting. It was weird, I can still remember it now. There was just normal, happy, excited people there. And they were just telling their stories about them being on the products, how good they were feeling. There was professional football players, there was boxers, there was athletes in the room. And I said, oh, this seems all right. And I heard somebody on stage says he was making £500 a month, part-time, on his phone, working an hour a day. And I went, £500 a month. Imagine that on top of my wage. And then I heard somebody else, 1,000, somebody else, 2,000. And I thought to myself, bloody hell. Imagine getting the same wage for what I do being a heating engineer, doing this, whatever this is. And then it went up to like 40,000 or whatever it was a month. And I went, are these guys just selling shakes? I don't really understand this. But then I understood it was multi-level marketing, MLM, and I thought, bloody hell, I just saw it and I went, I can do that. I went, and at the end, the guy says, if I can do it, you can do it. And that stuck with me since this day. So for there, I went home that night. And I spoke to the guy, Kevin, and I signed up to be a part of the company. He never promised me anything. He just told me to trust him. And from this day, I have trusted him. His brother, believe it or not, passed away 2 years ago, I think it is now. And he was the guy that obviously introduced us. So it's upsetting. But listen, I know where I want to go, and I know he'll be looking down, doing the exact same thing, wanting me to strive on. So from there, after I joined, he told me to stick to the products like glue, Jack. Like my financial future depends on it, and I know that might sound a bit heavy, but he said get a result on these products. And at the time, I needed to lose a bit of weight. As I said, I was Scottish champion at 81 kilo, so I started on the products at 84 kilo. And after 4 weeks, I was bang on 4 weeks. I've still got it on my phone. I was down to 77.4, and I've never been in that shape in my life. I was literally ripped to the bone. I felt unbelievable, and everyone obviously noticed that as well. I never put anything on social media like I was doing this or doing that. I just done what I've done, used the products, as well as eating food. Some people seem to think that you just have shakes. It's not the case with this. I eat a whole food diet, but a supplement with clever nutrition. So I've done that for 4 weeks, and I got great results. So from there, as I said, everyone started to notice what I was doing. And I just started to help more people with products. We had something called a sample night at my house. This is where Kevin flew up from Portsmouth to my house. He flew up, but before that, he says, I'm going to come to your house in 2 weeks. So I told my partner, she goes, no one's coming out of this house. I go, Lisa, you've got to trust me. We're inviting all our friends and family in. So believe it or not, only some friends and family came round. But you'd think they'd be the ones that were more supportive. Doesn't happen like that. So I invited 72 people round to my house, and 13 came that night. So that night, my sponsor, he obviously went over a few things. He went over the products and all that. And from there, more people got excited. More people wanted to improve their health, and more people wanted to know more about the opportunity. There's about 6 or 7 people in there complaining about their jobs. And I heard a bit of research there last week that over 85% of people in the UK now, Jack, hate their jobs, literally dislike their jobs. So that back there 2 years ago, these guys were like, I want to take a look at this. So for there, I've always just continued to help more people, to be fair. I've helped more people on the products, and I've helped more people show them the opportunity as well. And I never really understood this at first, to be honest with you. And I just kept helping more people. Next minute, after 11 months in this company, I got told I'd qualified for a free holiday in Miami. And I just couldn't believe it. I was like, what? So me, Lisa, and my daughter, Essie, we were in Florida there in Miami with the company, which we cannot believe. I qualified for a level in the marketing plan after a year and a half called Global Expansion Team. And I'm at the moment in time, you get paid roughly between £3,000 and £5,000 a month, and to me that is quite a lot of money. And then the last year, well, it wasn't. It was actually June last year we qualified for the free holiday on the cruise this year as well. So we just cannot believe it. This company has totally changed the way I see things as well in life as well, mate. It's totally changed our lives around, and looking forward to helping more people. Looking forward to people now are wanting something different, I believe, for sure. Whether it's to help people, it's having a purpose, I feel. And not many people do that out there. Genuinely, they just go to work. They just don't know. They just genuinely don't know what's there for them. And I found an opportunity in that, and I've grasped it with both hands. And now I'm trying to show more people about this opportunity as well as helping them with their health at the same time.
Quality, mate. Quality. I got goosebumps several times throughout that. Love that. So you said you worked for 10 years doing something you didn't want to do.
Yes.
What did that do to you? Like, because I know we speak about like people not really enjoying their jobs, etc. Have we lost you, mate? Are you there?
Sorry, mate. I just lost you. Say that again.
So obviously we speak about people not enjoying their jobs, etc.
Yeah.
So that was you for 10 years. What were you like? How did you feel? What happened? What did you do?
Well, the first 4 years, I just kind of accepted that what it was, because I never knew like anything.
Yeah.
I was a heated engineer. It's always good to get a trade. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. So for the 4 years, it was, and then you were with the building site boys and all that, and it was like a good laugh and all that back then. But then I never really. When I say I hated it, like I genuinely hated. I hated work. This time 5 years ago, I remember we were down in Portsmouth. Not Portsmouth. We were down in Peterborough working. It was on my birthday as well, and I was standing outside welding in a tin hut in -6, and I screenshotted it on purpose. I remember that to look back, and I looked back at the other day there. I just couldn't believe it. I actually get shivers and goosebumps looking at back then.
So do you think people just get like, because you said then you didn't know any different. Do you reckon that's what the problem is? People just don't know any different. That's why they get stuck in like just living from week to week, month to month, Monday to Friday. Weekends is like escapism almost.
More or less, for me as well. Like, you live Monday to Friday, and the Friday's like one of the best. Saturday's the best day of the week. You finish work on Friday afternoon, and everyone's waiting for the weekend. And it's just what you get taught at school now as well. Just think about like teachers and all that. This is what they get taught now, by telling everyone. None of them are like really, really rich, and I'm not talking about money here, but I'm just talking about what we've been told to do. You go to sorry mate, you go to you go to school, you get a good job, and that's you try and get a good job possibly can. At a young age, my dad was like, what are you going to be? I was like, don't even know. I said a rubbish man. I didn't even mean a bin man. I just said a rubbish man. I never even knew what I meant. He was like, no, I want you to be a doctor, I want you to be a lawyer, I want you to be this. And I was like, well, why? Why do people think they need to be that as well? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So tell us about, because obviously I know you've had like drink, or I don't know the details, mate, but yeah, tell us, like, people, I want people to realize, like, obviously you come from one qualification, like, do you know what I mean? Like, tell us where you come from.
Well, for me, as I said, at a young age, and I'm a compulsive gambler. I'm a gambling addict, and I also classify myself as an alcoholic, believe it or not. Now I understand the illness, and as I say, at a young age, just seeing, like, I would always run away from everything, even like a really young age, even like my mum and dad arguing with each other, for instance. I would always like run away in a bedroom. Know what I mean, mate?
Yeah.
So I've always ran away from everything. I've always trying to escape from everything, and I always used to follow what my brother done, because he's 3 years older than me. So whatever he done, I done, and he started to gamble at a young age, and well, so did I. And then finally, I crossed the line between habit and addiction. And once you cross the line, you unfortunately can't go back. And at a young age, I started to build a whole load of defects. I started to this person that I was that
Sorry,
wasn't
mate,
really
we
me.
lost you a second there. Can you?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
So
So
I started to.
Yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so I started to build a whole load of character defects, mate. For even like a wee young age, like going to the shops and watching my friends steal. So then I started to do it. So now I was stealing. Started to cheat. Started to tell lies. Started to steal out my mum and dad's purse. You know what I mean? And then from there, it got worse. It got worse, and it got worse. And my gambling life got worse. I would go to any lengths for a gamble. Putting my relationship on strain as well. And then finally, for me, it got to the age of 20, I think it was 28. I was question 20, which means committing suicide. I didn't want to be in this world anymore, mate. And that's tough to say, but it's the truth. I just wanted a way out. I was just a scared young boy, although I was a man. And I found the rooms. I found Gamblers Anonymous, and that's totally changed my life around that room. And I got a sponsor. In GA, you get sponsors, and you work something called a 12-step recovery program. And by doing that, you find out a lot about yourself. Throughout the program, it's not for the faint-hearted. It's somebody that wants to really go deep in themselves, and you work it with a sponsor. And after doing that, after him helping me basically change my life around, I had to realise that drinking drugs were also a big player in this as well. You need to change as a person. It's all good staying off the drink, staying off gambling, but if you're not changing as a person, then really what's the point? And for me, I remember one night just going to sleep saying, God, please, I wish I wasn't the way I am. And I really mean that. And I know some people are atheists and agnostics and don't believe in God. Listen, I don't believe that anyone's in the sky, but I've got a good orderly direction. I've got a higher power. I just look outside and see the sun, see in the sky, and I says, I never made that. I do believe there's going to be a creator out there that's put me on this planet, and I do believe I have worth now. I believe that I can help people and be an example to a lot of people today. I now take people through the program also. I help fellow people that have got a drink problem, and also help people that have got gambling problems as well, mate.
Wow. So what do you think drove you to these problems? Because obviously they're more common than people obviously let on. And yeah, what drove you towards doing it? Was it maybe trying to escape from the fact you didn't really enjoy your job, or was it maybe like, did it come from like the fact you didn't make it and your mates made it in football, or where did it reckon it came from? Because like,
yeah, you could say that. You could say it could come from like not succeeding as well. But everyone's got habits in life, yeah. Some are worse than others. But you see, with like gambling, that's like a hidden killer. And nowadays it's coming out even more so. That people are gambling addicts, and listen, that goes under like mental health as well. I just it's hard to really put into words how you were feeling at the time back then as well, but really understanding now that it's escapism. For anything, I would always try and just escape, even if you got beat in a football game, right? The next thing I would just want to be on my own. I didn't want to talk to anyone, didn't want to hear anyone. I would just go on my own in the pub and drink, you know what I mean? Or go and gamble, just be on my own. I didn't want to like see anyone.
yeah. So talk us through, because obviously there's so many people that will listen to this and probably be able to relate on like so many of the different things, like not liking their jobs, like escapism, for example. What has helped you to get over become the person you are now?
For me, I was never one for, well, first of all, belief. I believe. I never really believed in myself, and I never knew there was help out there either. I never knew there was something different in terms of an opportunity. I never knew there was help in terms of like looking for like a GA or a AA room as well. So for me, what's helped me also is I was never a big reader, mate. I never used to read books at all. I think the only book I read was Goosebumps at high school.
Yeah.
So then I remember my sponsor said to me, "You've got to take a look at a book called Think and Grow Rich." And I was thinking, "Oh, what's this book all about?"
And this is your sponsor in Herbalife, right?
Yeah, no, it's my sponsor in GA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's my sponsor in GA. He
Wow.
says, I know, aye. So he said to me, "You've got to take a look at a book called Think and Grow Rich." Think and Grow Rich, wow. Thinking it was just all about money, and he goes, no, it's no that. And he goes, "There's a secret in that book." And I go, "Tell me the chapter." And he goes, "I'm not telling you the chapter, but read it." And then after I read it, he told me the chapter that was in, and he goes, "Really, it's in every single chapter." And that book just totally changed everything for me. Just having a purpose, having a total burning desire, it just changed everything for me. That book, really.
And did you go to GA before you got involved with Herbalife?
Yes, I did. If
So
I was doing Herbalife at the moment and still gambling, I doubt I could do it. My head would be all over it.
Yeah. So do you think maybe like you found your purpose within Herbalife, or do you think like, what was your purpose initially? Was it just to get over gambling and become a better person?
It was. I remember going that day and said, "I just want to be a better person. I just want to get better." I just never liked myself. I never liked lying. I never liked cheating. I never liked stealing. I just wanted to get better.
Yeah.
Don't see me there.
You still there, mate?
Yeah, I'm still there. I just low battery, but it's fine.
No worries. So yeah, tell us more about the what your sponsor helped you to do, and maybe like give us like advice to people who are on the fence, like, because obviously you didn't know there was help out there. That's like your two sponsors in your life have completely changed your life, right?
Yeah, they both have.
Sponsor. So like the effect of two really positive influences on your life, because obviously you're a big believer now in you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with.
Yep.
What advice would you give to people who are like suffering with whatever at the moment in their lives? What would you say?
First of all, I'd say get help for sure. If this was because people like to hold things in, people like to bottle things up, and especially for a guy, it's an ego thing. I didn't need help. I'll be okay. And then that's where it gets to the stage where my head's not my friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It says it's my friend, but it's really not my friend. And it plays tricks with us.
Yeah. So, go on, carry on, mate.
Aye. So as I say, it plays tricks with us, and some people don't. Some people just genuinely don't know to ask. They just don't know to ask for help either. And then it gets worse. It goes into depression, and then next minute we see question 20, which is suicide.
And how long were you considering that?
I really I considered it on the first of November, 2016. I was driving over a bridge, and I remember just saying, "I'm just going to get out of the car now, and I'm going to jump over this bridge." I just wanted it. I had enough of life, mate. Genuinely.
And what made you decide to, like, obviously, thankfully you didn't. What made you make that decision?
I don't know. It wasn't like it's a strange one, because because that night I was going to go back to. I went back to Gamblers Anonymous. So that night I went back to Gamblers Anonymous, and it was just a case of thinking to myself, I just can't do this again. I just can't have another relapse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so you were already going to GA then at this point?
No. It's funny how you said that. I was going to GA in March. I think it was 2016, and I was off a bet for 27 weeks. But then I gambled again and had all these excuses. I had all the excuses under the sun. But the truth was, I never changed as a person one little tiny bit. I was still drinking. I was still taking drugs. So everything was still. My relationship was like not very great as well because of me. And then that night, Lisa says, "I'm going to give you one more chance." And that night, I went back to GA, and it's just totally changed everything for me. As I said, I found a sponsor. We worked through the 12-step recovery program. I'm not religious, like believing in God and stuff, but I believe in a higher power, mate. And that might sound a bit. People may understand this and may relate to it on this podcast, but it wasn't like a flashing light or anything like that. It was just, I don't know what happened to me that night when I started to work the program. It's weird.
I'd also say, obviously, you've got the two sponsors, and Lisa, obviously, with them people, like they obviously want what's best for you. Without them, mate, God, like that's huge for people, just to realise to surround yourself with the right people who want the best for you. I think as well.
I had to, when Essie was born, I had to, and with my friends being into like what they're into, some are no, some are athletes. I had to leave the herd behind me, and that's tough in saying that, but
yeah,
I've got a handful of right good friends, and you become the average of the 5 people you hang out with, and that's just a fact. Anything that I need balance in my life, Jack, and if I've not got balance and I'm off balance, and every single night, every single morning, I do an inventory sheet. Yeah, that keeps me right. I see if I was resentful, if I was selfish, if I was dishonest, how was I afraid, how was I grateful. I do that every night, and in the morning, if I don't do it, I go straight off balance, mate.
Really?
Yeah, straight off balance. And every time I do so, I always contact my sponsor, Peter, first. Don't know, it's just my sponsor, and I can tell him anything, and it's just having someone there that's been through it as well, and anything I want to talk about, I always ask him first, and like I know he's always going to be right.
Unbelievable, mate. This is going to be so much value for people. So, yeah, I just want you to keep talking, really. So you've been, what do you want to call it, clean now for how long? How long have you been?
I've been 3 years gambling free, and on the 28th, the next month, I'll be 3 years clean and sober.
Wow. And you just feel like, obviously now you're like obviously a leader in what you're doing, a massive inspiration to people. So like people will want to know how. Is it just the habits? Because obviously you've replaced your negative habits. So like, I've had like similar problems with gambling and stuff. I don't know. I don't think I was as bad as yourself, but I think once you have like something negative, you can easily change it into a positive, you know. And obviously, you are now like myself. I can see your Instagram stories. You're up super early. You've got really positive habits in your lifestyle. Talk us through them, mate.
Yeah, so we always talk about, like, people always say to me, you've been off the drink and a gamble for so long, you could go back and have a £10 bet. But then I laugh at that. I laugh at that because I was compulsive. I'm compulsive with everything, believe it or not. You cross the line.
That's what I mean. So you still are compulsive, because I've got like an addictive personality.
I've got that.
So I knew it was good for me to stop drinking and stop gambling, because these weren't positive traits for me. But helping people becomes a positive addictive personality, which is, I think, what we both got now, you know. Helping people, learning. I know you're massively into your personal development. So like, it's amazing how you can make something that's within you, which we both got an addictive personality, into a positive source for us to grow as a person, you know.
Yeah, I do believe that I do have leadership qualities now, and with what I've done in my past, by obviously my gambling and my drinking, everyone sees that and thinks, like, bloody hell, for a start, you know what I mean? And now with what I'm doing with Herbalife, everything that I've done in the past, I believe, is helping me now with this as well. And we
100%.
talked about, I believe we talked about habits there, and what I do differently now. And for me, it's getting up really early, mate, like really early. And I got up early before to go to work, but now I'm getting up at like 4:30 in the morning. Monday to Saturday, I take a day off, as we say on a Sunday. But that's been implemented me in, like, for years now, and it's doing me in good stead. I love getting up early, so that's one of the points I wanted to obviously bring across to you as well.
Which is super interesting, because obviously you don't go to work anymore.
No.
So do you get up earlier now that you don't go to work than when you were working?
Yes.
Yeah. So obviously we want to know why. I know I'm the same, but yeah, what is it? Because people will be like, that's crazy. But yeah.
Because a Sunday night, everyone's saying, like, Sunday night's like the night of the week that everyone hates, right? And I don't need to get up at 4:30 in the morning on a Monday. I can get up at 8, 9 o'clock if I really wanted to. I've just drove this habit into me, to get up at this time. I love getting up early. I can feel I can do so much more. It's obviously more quieter as well. I can do my reading then as well. I do my personal development. My personal development is so key for me as well. And it's weird because, just say if I get up at like 8, 9 o'clock, then I won't go to the gym. I go to the gym at 4:30, 5:30 in the morning. If I get up at 10 o'clock, I won't go. It's weird.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
weird
I'm the same. I'm the same.
It's weird how I've implemented this.
Yeah, crazy. So how many hours a day do you reckon you spend on personal development, bearing in mind you hadn't read a book until you were how old?
We're talking at high school and that I would read books, but they're probably the only one of the first books I've actually read was The Chimp Paradox. That was one of the first books, which is it's a really good book, yeah, but I do like it. I do like it, but it's just, it may be weird for some people. But I do like the way he comes across, and the chimp and all that, and how he sees everything.
Yeah.
But for me, Think and Grow Rich, Outwitting the Devil, sequel to Think and Grow Rich, and that book's really, really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I was going to ask you about books that you've read. So if I would have told you, let's say 4 years ago, right, Piesy, you're only waking up at 4:30 in the morning, you aren't going to be going to work anymore, you're going to be doing gym sessions every morning with personal development, and you're going to become what you've become, what would you have said?
I would probably just laugh, honestly, mate.
You had no vision for that, did you, at all? You had no idea that
no vision, no idea at all that would have happened. I would have thought the only reason why I stayed on the building site because it was decent money. You know what I mean? It was good money, and I couldn't really get another job out there. Go and be a personal trainer. That's no paying that sort of money unless you're, well, I don't know, but I'm only guessing. If you're like really good or you got lots of clients. So
Yeah.
I had to just accept what I was, and that was it for me.
So you didn't, because I'm intrigued now, because you didn't like your job, right? You was in all this pain.
Yeah,
When you was in the supermarket and you met Kev, he
yeah.
said, "Oh, you should have a look at what I do." You said no, didn't you?
I said, "No, it's not for me."
Why did? Because people obviously, me and you know that we're faced with closed-minded people. You obviously were closed initially.
Yeah,
Yeah. What makes people not be like, "I'll have a look,"
because because I heard people talk about Herbalife before and say it was just shakes, and it was a lot of rubbish.
and you thought it was an American weight loss company?
Yeah, and that's all I thought it was.
See, I was led the same opinion. I used to think here people, because I worked as a personal trainer in the gyms, people used to say, "Oh, it was a load of rubbish."
Yeah,
So when the idea of speaking to Kev first was like approached to me, I was like, "Oh, he does that thing that's a load of rubbish."
aye.
People just don't understand it, do they? And
No, they don't. They don't, and it is tough because some people just are generally against it.
yeah,
But then when you look deep into it, you look deep into the company, you look into the products, you look that we're like the number one in the world. You look at the recognition you're getting. You're looking at the just even the products that are getting the best energy drink in the UK, the best cold drink, stuff like that. You look at the mission. You look at I, I talked to the CEO of the company in September for 15 minutes. Then you just you just need to accept that it's just no for some people. But it's no very nice hearing bad things about the company when some people don't know about it. Maybe it's the person in the past that was that, but it's certainly not the company.
here's an interesting question. So you got within 4 weeks ripped to the bone,
Yep.
and you had unbelievable energy levels. So we've both played at quite a good level of sport, and I've obviously done like competitions in men's physique, but we've both been pretty quite lean before.
Yeah.
Whenever I was lean before, I had no energy,
Yeah.
but you were ripped to the bone, and I've seen your pictures. You've got nothing on you. Are you literally still high energy when you're that lean?
The when I was with Herbalife.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, then
Yeah.
I'm gonna, yeah.
Yeah. I felt great. I felt great. I was still playing football twice a week as well.
Did your performance in sport improve?
I would say so in football for sure. 190 minutes, 120 minutes, still playing football, CR7 all the time using that product as well
Do you
in the gym in the mornings.
do you reckon if you were boxing with the products, you'd have got further in your boxing career?
I wouldn't be boxing at 81 kilo. I would definitely be boxing at 75 kilo.
Yeah.
Definitely because you know what it's like when you're a boxer or when you're training, you get down to a certain weight.
See,
So then I know I could have got down to 75 probably and maybe been better
and then
and I
you could
didn't
have,
have the products.
and then you could have probably trained harder, because I know most boxers, they'll train for a fight and they'll cut weight, right, and then post fight they'll binge. I know Kev used to do this as well, and I've got a member in my team who's a boxer who used to be up and down in weight, whereas now with the products he maintains his weight all year round, so his
Yeah,
training is like a higher intensity all year round. It's like when you look at AJ, for example, like he's obviously the best in the boxing space because he's always ripped, so he can always train at that high level, whereas people that are in and out of shape, like Fury, for example, that might be the difference between them two, because he'll gain loads of weight in his off season. Do you know what I mean? Whereas using this, like you call it, clever supplementation, it's giving you that edge.
don't let anyone kind of you seen the boxing game and all that, and I listened to a professional boxer at the weekend there, and I knew about it for a while. They use meal replacements as well, but some people are just with their own ways, especially people at young level, especially people that are in like the GB Olympics team.
Yeah.
They're going to toilet to get to certain weights, and after their training, they have a meal replacement shake at night as well. So it's all over the place. Everyone's still using it, but some people use different products. You know what I mean? Everyone's
Yeah, yeah.
obviously in their own ways.
Crazy, crazy. So we did speak about some questions that I was going to ask you. So obviously you mentioned the books
Yep.
that you recommended then.
Yep.
Do you gift books to people? So if you were to give, like, because obviously gifting books is like, I think, an amazing gift, because what someone can take from a book is like, can be so much more than, for example, buying someone something of
Oh yeah.
monetary value, you know? So like, what books have you gifted maybe to team members, or what gift, like, let's say you met someone, you thought they're a great person, I really want to help them. What book would you give them?
As I've touched on before, I've gave Think and Grow Rich out to a few people. I've gave a book recently out to a friend called Sugar, Fat and Salt.
Oh yeah,
Wow, that's really powerful.
really.
What they put in, what the Americans put in products, what the government, what everyone puts in products, and it hits your bliss point. It's called sugar, fat, and salt are obviously the cheapest ingredients. Yeah,
Yeah,
reading this book, that's why it's so addictive. And there's a part in the book where it says, I think it was like a rat they had, and rats always stay away in the corner, right? They didn't like coming into the middle of the floor, but they had like some sort of chocolate in the middle of the floor, and the rat could sense it, and he was just had to go over it in the middle of the floor and get it. It was that powerful, and this is what it does to us. We're addicted to it. And I read about our bodies are biologically proven to love chocolate as well. It's just unfortunate.
yeah, because it tastes so good. Were you not eating Maltesers a minute ago?
Aye,
Guilty.
I know. I
The
know.
book must be powerful, mate.
I know, but honestly.
Quality. So, what other questions do we have? Right, big billboard. So you can have a big billboard with anything you want said on it. What would you have?
Well, I thought about this for a while, and I never really knew what I would say of that. But I thought to myself, and I actually wrote it down for you, mate. It says, "When the dream is big enough, the odds don't matter."
Nice. Like it.
Aye.
Like
So
it.
that for me just goes under hunger as well, for sure. Being hungry for something.
And you just spent,
But
it's crazy because you spent maybe 10 years not dreaming.
not dreaming at all, mate. And I never knew that there was a way out with anything. I just thought this was life, and I believe people are going through that every single day of life now, as well, mate.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. What other questions did we have that I was going to ask you? What ones really stood out for you? Can you remember?
Trying to think.
Where's my phone?
I think we went over quite a few.
I know we spoke about the books and like obviously the billboard. Let me see. Oh, because I know there's one more that I wanted to ask you as well. That's it. When you speak to your 18-year-old self,
Oh wow.
what advice would you give him, and what would you say to not do and stuff? Like, what have you learned and stuff?
I've only got 4% battery, but I think we should be okay. Okay.
Yeah,
First
cool,
of
mate.
all, I would tell him to dream bigger. I would tell him to do something that you love. I would tell him to stay away for drink, for drugs, for gambling. Don't go near it. And I would also tell him not to care about the opinions of other people.
Yeah, so powerful. But like, it's so easy to say them things, isn't it?
It's so easy now because I look at people now. I just got a young lad in our organisation called Bruce, 19-year-old. He's hungry. He's up for the cup. He sponsored like 3 people. I couldn't do that at 19-year-old. Kevin got me at the right time with this.
Yeah, it's a
If that was
timing.
it, it's a timing thing. If it was before, I couldn't have done it. I would have went, "Who's he?" Just because I was kind of changing at the time as well. Makes sense.
Yeah, definitely. Timing's so key. Right, last question maybe before your battery goes. When you feel overwhelmed or unfocused, what do you do?
Personal development, and I go straight for a walk, mate. Leave the house, or I phone my sponsor.
Walk. What
Walk with the
podcast
dog.
or what like books would you do you listen of? I think you're getting Audible now, aren't you?
Aye, Audible. Aye.
So what books would like be the first one you turn to, or is it whatever one you're listening to at that moment in time?
Kind of whatever one I'm listening at that moment in time. But first of all, I take my dog. I'd go out for a walk, and I kind of just want to be on my own.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
before, like always before, but you've got a positive to it.
But a positive.
Fresh air.
Aye.
That's
Aye.
crazy, isn't it? So you're still always doing the same things, but you're just fueling it with a positive rather than a negative.
I want to be on my own, but I know what to put in my mind now, and I'll phone my sponsor. Weird.
Nice, mate. Quality. Well, thanks for coming on, Piesy. I don't want to risk losing your battery. So it's been
2%.
awesome, mate. And I'll see you at kickoff next weekend, buddy.
I will do. Thanks for that, Jack.
Take care, mate.
See you, mate. Bye.
Cheers,
Bye.
buddy. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. I'm sure you will agree that Piesy has got an unbelievable, motivational, inspirational story, and he's continuing to do great things in what he's doing in helping others and using his personality and character to basically fuel positive endeavors now, whereas before that wasn't such the case. So if you're someone who's the same, just realize that if Piesy can do it and anyone can do it, or anyone that's done it before you, then you can too. So hopefully you are on the Be More hype and you're feeling super positive after that and inspired into taking action. And next week we will be bringing some more awesome interviews. In fact, there could be some more this week as well. I think we've got some more in the diary. So have an awesome week. I hope you are smashing January, and I will see you in the next episode of the Be More podcast. Take care, guys.